Keep watching as I show you how you could be trading with the trend in the current markets, like the great W.D. Gann using his famous trendline indicator. W.D. Gann made his reputation by making calls long before events took place. To know where a market is going at any time is hard enough, so knowing 12 months or so in advance is something special. Gann started trading in 1902, and his methods have stood the test of time and still work to this day. In 1989, using Gann's methods, David Bowden, the founder of Safety in the Market, called the market 12 months in advance, almost to the minute. And here's one of W.D. Gann's famous books, How to Make Profits in Commodities. And here's just a clip from that book here, and we can see on the right-hand side a bar chart that Gann would write out. And then on the left-hand side, a swing chart as we know it today that he would make from each bar chart. Now, Gann wrote a number of excellent books. However, many people find them hard to read and comprehend. David Bowden, the founder of Safety in the Market, became world-renowned for his work interpreting W.D. Gann's lessons and his ability to forecast the market. Using Gann's techniques, David created a series of courses that simplified Gann's teachings so we can learn to apply them to the markets in this current day. In our Active Trader program, we begin by teaching you how to apply his lessons using price. And then, as most students do, progress to learning about time, as David teaches us how to use Gann's most powerful technique in their trading. But he starts off by teaching us how to work his trend line indicator, or as we know it, a swing chart. And here's Gann teaching his students in one of his courses when to buy, when to sell, and what to look out for using his trendline indicator. Obviously, when Gann talks about 1 cent and 2 cent moves, we're talking about markets 100 years ago. So we would have to add a couple of zeros or decimal places to that in the current market. And here is how Gann would use his trendline indicator. And based on a daily bar chart here where we can see the red and green bars, he would just join up the bottoms to the tops and then down to the bottoms again and create his version of what we use as a swing chart. Now, we use Profit Source as a software. It's a charting package that our students use, and we can use a special version which includes a set of tools that allows us to apply Gann and David's techniques easily. This version is only available to Safety in the Market students. And as you can see, coming from what we saw Gann using, which was lines from bottoms to tops and then down again, David has constructed a swing chart here using our software. This is what it would look like in Profit Source to turn a bar chart into a swing chart. We find that the swing chart just removes some noise, especially when markets are vibrating up and down, maybe in a sideways market. It certainly identifies support and resistance here. Here's some possible support coming up on this market. Okay, this is the Dow Jones here. It shows us how to measure ranges of each swing so we can identify strength and weakness in a move. And it allows us to easily determine the trend. W.D. Gann also wants us to look at the bigger picture. His swing charts work on a daily chart, but they also work in a weekly and a monthly and a quarterly chart as well. So he likes to get us to examine what's happening on the bigger picture and then break it down to the smaller picture for our trading. Here we see an example where on the left-hand side we have a weekly swing chart showing us and our students that the trend is down. Now, a bit of resistance shown on the swing chart here and a false break. If we head over to the right hand side, we've got a daily bar chart. We've put a swing chart over the top. This is a daily swing chart as opposed to the weekly swing chart to the left. And as you can see, it shows us the minor trend heading downwards, backed up by the major trend on the left, where the trend is down also. Our students can also use these swings to trail their stops behind to keep them in the trade. So here we see Profit Source giving us a split screen chart where we can have a swing chart on the left, a bar chart on the right. And as you can see, just say, for example, this area of the market can be quite difficult to read on a bar chart. And the swing chart just takes out the noise and tells us that we had a bit of a downtrend for the moment and then a strong range upwards. And if we get a higher bottom now, our students will know that the trend is once again up, which you may not be able to tell from looking at these bars. Gann teaches us to stay in for the long swing and that we would make more money trade in the market and staying in our trade for a longer period of time rather than jumping in and out of trades and trying to scalp the market. And here he's telling us to make 3 or 4, maybe half a dozen trades a year and make large profits rather than being in and out 200 times in a year and being wrong half the time. And as you can see here, us using his trend line indicator to stay in from April all the way through into July here, following a 2-day swing that our students can use. We've still got the bar chart on the screen, but we can use our swing chart to help us define the trend and the strengths during that trend. Here we see a chart of Apple. It's a monthly bar chart. I've got a monthly swing chart over the top. And from the low here, our students would stay out of this market initially with this lower top. Then as we start getting higher bottoms and higher tops, that gives us signals to enter the market here. And then if they so wish, they could stay underneath each swing, slowly moving their stop upwards and protecting more and more capital as we advance. Then we get some large swings. Our students are already in the market at this point and then can enjoy larger profits, again being protected by the swing. All of a sudden, we start getting lower swing tops. The trend line indicator is giving us subtle hints that maybe there's been a change in the market's trend. As we see, we go sideways and then downwards. It's only after this event, when we break above this resistance that's easy to see on the swing chart, that we then get more signals to go long. We've got a mini double bottom in here just to back up what we're thinking from the swing chart. So we're always basing our trading on our analysis of the swing chart alongside the bar chart. And then the market starts heading up again. And then as soon as we get that lower top, it's a signal. And as you can see, the market falls back down. But hopefully our students would have noticed the signal. Remember, this is a monthly bar chart, and been able to exit with a profit up here, especially if they got in down here or around here. Okay. And then let the market fall down and wait for a higher bottom, and then we're breaking these tops, so we know there's going to be a higher top, so another signal for us to re-enter the market. That's on a monthly bar chart. Here's a daily bar chart, and here we see it's a weekly swing chart now. So Profit Source allows us to overlay different types of swing charts. We've got a daily bar chart and a weekly swing overlay. And as you can see, we wouldn't be getting into the market here We've got lower tops, higher bottoms. We would call that uncertain. And then all of a sudden, a higher bottom and a higher top, and it's time to enter the market. And as you can see, that would then produce some great profits for our students. Now we get a lower top. Now we're going to get a lower bottom. It's time to get out. But how would you know if you didn't have this trend line indicator that W.D. Gann taught us in the first place, and David Bowden has now packaged in a way we can use on our charts day to day? Here we see until this point where we're going to get a higher bottom and a higher top, we're not interested in this sideways market. So thanks to David Bowden and all his hard work breaking down W.D. Gann's teachings and creating Safety in the Market and its active trader program, the course that David wrote helps teach us the lessons of Gann and how to apply them in today's markets. If you'd like to learn how you can incorporate Gann's work into your trading using David Bowden's methods, follow the link below to find out more about our Active Trader program, which will teach you how to consistently and safely build your trading account while trading like Gann with the trend. Thanks guys, see you soon.